Video game status. You could insert prime JJ Redick, prime Melo on any playoff roster right now. What roster is it, and how you taking them over the top?
It's a good fucking scenario.
You know what I'm saying?
I hate to think about it, but
I'd like to play with Jokic, honestly.
it would be good with
Just
them.
shore up their bench a little bit, 15 to 20 minutes, a little bit more shooting at volume,
Ray Allen in Miami.
Two-man, Ray Allen in Miami.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
In my prime, by the way.
Yeah.
I will gladly, in my prime, play 15 minutes a game. It makes I get to be on that team with Jokic.
You up 30-32. You're not going to the rack one time trying to.
Oh yeah. But the other team, the way that Joe Mazzulla has gotten complete buy-in from his guys, it's weird. They've all had incredible seasons, but they've all at the same time taken a step back in terms of the individual. I got to put up this amount of shots. I got to put up this amount of it's across the board in their top six. And then you have Hauser and Peyton Pritchard coming off the bench having career years. That type of environment. Oh man, give me that. Where like Drew Holiday's I was an all-star last year, high volume player. I'm willing now to experiment on defense, whatever Joe needs from me, and I'll be a corner 3-point shooter. And night to night, depending on how teams are, because a lot of teams cross match against them, they'll put a big on Drew. So night to night, Drew doesn't know what role he's going to play. Am I going to be a facilitator? Am I going to be a spot up shooter? Am I going to be a screener? He doesn't know that night to night. And he's got complete buy-in from all the guys across the board. That's the type of team you want to play on.
Is that hard to do? Not from an ego point, but just from a business. I gotta put up a certain amount of points. I gotta perform at a certain level, or else, I'm in a contract year. Blah blah blah. How much of that goes into, the buy-in?
I think when you reach a certain point in time in your career, it's a no-brainer, right? I think a lot of the noise come from the outside. You can't do it, or they're not willing to do it. But in your mind, if I'm looking at a team, I know what I'm able to bring to this team and what I have to do and what of course I'm gonna be willing to play that. I want to come here. I want to be here. I'm looking at this team, this situation very intentionally because I know all I have to do is play a specific role with that.
You have to be, it's going to sound counterintuitive and maybe a paradox, but you have to be selfish in some ways, because being selfish allows you to be who you are. Mm-hmm. And then you have to balance that with what the team needs. That's the challenge. And it's, by the way, it's an art, not a science. That's why it's so hard. I'm sure you were on teams. I was on 15 teams. Take that back.
Damn.
17 teams, because I got traded twice in season. I was on 17 different locker rooms. And I would say there's a feeling when you have that complete buy-in and everybody's moving in the same direction and everybody's literally trying to get to one thing. And you may get that in 15 years, and on 17, you might get that 5 times in your career. It's not like it happens every time. And I was on good teams that won 50 plus games where I was like, we don't have that level of cohesion that I've experienced my 3rd year in Orlando, right? Or my 2nd year with the Clippers. We when you have it, you know it, and when you don't have it, you're like, yeah, we don't
got that shit at all.
We don't have it.
The roles is the role playing is basically taking ownership. Okay, I'm gonna be accountable for what I have to do. All
right, so listen, don't duck the smoke, Jeff.
Never that.
Where's headband, straight back mellow, prime time, bucket getter? What 2024 team are you jumping on right now to take him to the Larry?
I've got mine for Melo, for prime Melo. I've got mine.
I honestly think, to be honest with you, New York. And I'm gonna say this because I've always wanted to play with my thing is I wanted a point guard. I always felt like I needed somebody like Andre Miller, or Chauncey Billups. I needed somebody at that position that was a big guard, could post up, could, know how to run a team, right? But still can do what they do. And I always needed somebody like a power forward, like a very explosive power forward at the forward, just toughness, a Kenyon Martin, somebody like that. I just think the way that the Knicks roster is put together, they have a lead guard that's he can lead. So it takes it off of me to just try to go do everything. And now I can just be prime Melo and I have a role on this specific team right here to go score.
Get the buckets.
Go play that role for us. Because we got everything else. We got defenders, we got 3-point shooters, we got a hell of a coach. Prime Melo and Tibbs will have to sit down and have a real conversation. That's the...
Yo, 48 minutes, Tibbs.
It's a lot of shit that we would have to sit down and iron this out, Tibbs. Right?
But we gonna make it happen?
But I'm gonna make it work. So I see that. I like Miami. Miami coach is a little different. But I would say New York or Dallas.
Because listen, when Julius
I like Dallas. I just like that style of play. I like two hitters up there.
You'd have to sacrifice a lot in Dallas. In terms
I said I like them.
On ball usage.
I said I like them.
On ball usage, you'd have to sacrifice a little bit. I'm telling you,
I'll stand in the corner for Luka. I know Luka gonna pass it to the corner every time.
Perfect team for Prime Melo, and I'm not gonna substitute anyone off.
No,
on or off the roster, on or off the starting lineup. The best team for Prime Melo is the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Oh shit!
The Minnesota Timberwolves.
Me and Kat will have to have a real conversation. I'm saying that because my mindset at that time, Prime Melo, was a different mindset. It was kill mode. And if you ain't willing to kill with me, then me and you we got to have a conversation. Anthony Edwards is somebody that I can have alongside me because I know that he really wanted. I know what he's bringing to the game. I know his work ethic, and I know that he's trying to learn. He would be willing to learn and try to learn. And us together, that's a good one.
Foundation of a great defense.
Yeah, that's a fact.
A team that, not a great offensive team, struggles at times in the half court. If I can give them Melo. Come on, man.
Nah, JJ, you see what I mean?
He did something. He did something.
Yo, basketball season might be wrapping up soon, but Prospects has got you covered when it comes to help you make some bread during the playoffs.
You know what I'm saying? Yes, sir. Prospects is a daily fantasy app where you can select 2 or more players, pick more or less on his projected stats, and turn $25 into $250. Prospects is very simple to play. I can make my picks and submit my entry in less than 60 seconds.
So be sure to visit prospects.com/7pm and use our promo code 7pm for a deposit match up to $100. In the meantime, stay locked in to 7pm in Brooklyn.